pray.
Because the Bible instructs us, especially if you're a Christian, and I don't know what the Muslim says or any other religion that we respect says, but I'm just saying that as a Christian, the Bible says that pray without ceasing. So every single time of your life, you're praying. You're praying because you don't know when someone will need that prayer. Sometimes in the middle of the night, you're up and you're struggling to sleep. Use it as prayer time. Do you understand? And it's going to be absolutely amazing. Absolutely
Most
amazing.
definitely. All right, so that wraps it up for Daily Dose of Vim. Time for us to get straight into Coffee Daily. It's brought to you kind courtesy Cowbell Coffee. Cowbell Coffee stays there with you every single moment. So make sure you grab a Cowbell Coffee for yourself today. But before that, today's a Tuesday. Call it a terrific Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's very terrific.
Hey, that pizza thing, that is so...
I don't know. Buy one, get one free.
Terrific Tuesdays.
And
After you look it up.
No.
Yeah, pizza and crab really be charging.
All right, so that means Miriam is going to be buying us pizza for today. So everyone, get ready. We're going to make sure we get some pizzas from Miriam Mensah. Thank you very much for joining us. Please call a friend. If not, you will miss on the pizza. We'll see you very soon. Don't go anywhere. one thing that you used to get, Gabby.
Yeah.
There's only one thing. I'll tell you after the show.
Yeah?
Yeah. Anyway. Yo. Says I should say it?
Yeah, he said you should say it. He's daring you.
He's daring me?
He's daring you.
Me?
Yes.
A whole me?
A whole you. Can you imagine?
I'll be the first person to use that trick on him.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's why I want to experiment. I want to, see what is going to happen before I give the remedy out. You get it? Yeah. 1 year science soon. Also a year experiment. You say a formula, a touch. Oh, so a formula. Oh boy. Sheldon is trending, yes, with Shatawale, of course. That's Shatta there too as well. So, no, Shatta say, like flood, yeah, no, if he needs help, he should let him know.
Now, I don't know if you have flooded.
Yeah.
Sheldon, if you have flooded.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry to him.
All right. So we'll get into that and yeah. But there's been, I think there'll be a reduction of fuel on the 25th of May. GPRTU are talking and they're saying that there'll be, I think it's 15%, if I get that right, 15%.
At least that's good. That's a good percentage.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Lakeside is still trending. You will do it. Kid you. Napo. Why is Napo trending?
Why is Napo trending?
Oh, that's a good one. I mean, let's find out. Hey. Okay, so minority demands immediate publication of Doomsor timetable. And everybody saying they should go and ask Napo.
Hey, minority, hey. Any comedies, no.
Oh, boy.
Any comedies, no.
Yes, so they brought it back. You see, trust Ghanaians to still have archives and give you receipts. Just trust Ghanaians on that.
Hey, this country, are we serious?
So on my behalf, the party and the government, I apologize to all of you Ghanaians for not getting the things right that we should have gotten. That's Dr. Baumia talking.
Dr. Baumia is
and Kweku Delali says, why apologize if you performed better than any other government in the Fourth Republic? Napo self-jab in Kruma, free. Trust Ghanaians to bring you back and back. Okay, but action with regards to, not action, but, America, Joe Biden, statement has it that he has prostate cancer. Did you get to hear that?
Joe Biden has been sick. Right now.
No, but we didn't know what.
But currently, I don't think I'm going to get surprised if I hear any other thing. I was actually expecting a certain, because of the way he was acting prior to the election, there was a condition that some doctors or doctor friends of mine purported could be the condition he was battling with. And then they also named cancer, just not the kind of cancer he was battling with. But again, quite honestly, I am not surprised.
Okay.
I'm not surprised at all. Looking at what he has had to, what we saw before the elections, gentleman definitely didn't look fine. I'm actually surprised that he's not trending.
Yes.
I'm actually surprised that he's not trending.
Very surprised.
Oh.
There's a lot happening with Dansumane.
Talking about trends. This one, the empowerment came to pass. Let me also talk about it.
What is trending?
Prophet Gideon says moving our eyes from the socket to the what's all.
Someone will say allow.
No, we've allowed.
Yes.
This man has been single for years.
Yes,
for billions of years.
So right now that he's married, I mean, it's blissful. Me, I love it. I love every step of it.
They're so cute.
I love it.
They are so cute.
I love it.
I love it.
Indos TV. Dansuman is trending. Jeff, good morning. What's happening to your Cartier?
His what?
His Cartier.
And it's Gabby that will say that one.
Oh boy. Stevie say, Accra is below sea level. Don't let anyone lie to you that they're on hills. Dansuma Hills, East Legon Hills, Kaswa Hills, and the rest. I remember I lied to somebody that, oh, meti TB Hills. What is TB Hills? Tobies. Everywhere is hills, please. Because that place too, we do on a hill. So yeah, Tobies Hills. Malam Hill. Weja Hill. Lashibi Hill.
Ashawa Hills.
All the hills.
Sheba Hill.
The stress people go in to secure lands is becoming too difficult to even relocate them. This guy's talking. Okay. Let's get to hear what he had to say.
No. This is the reason why a lot of people get it wrong in the country. So what you're saying, you look at the way you see the Nkofofi because what is will be Thomas Assay, and the person is saying, oh, the place is called La Paz Hills, Kaswa Hills, Kaneshi Hills, na Kaswa Newa Hills. So what you're saying, East Legon Hills. People should understand that, Accra and Ankasa is below sea level. So when you say Accra is below sea level, say what a brief upon so that so what I want to say, Accra and Ankasa is form. So what I say, in Soto, twice almost 5 days continuous. You understand? People are baby are intimate, Pokwasi on top of the mountain. I'm a summer, I mean some mountains, no. And you're from say hills, or more hills. So what yes, Mama shut down 1 year, almost say, I'm not go be moon. And I yans are good because Obian score cotton assassin. The autumn assassin a man on country and say, oh, chairman, I had assassin way here. A waterlogged assassin. So what I say, these are some of the things that will happen to you. And now I say, oh, I catch and so, oh, I had the issue for her say. And now, like, God amongst you before I say, they don't tell anybody anything because they want your money. Assassin the chroma to amount or my son to amount before fraud. These are some of the things that are going on. So, what you are saying, on the park over to assassin, and no what comes what a more assassin. What comes and you talk around saying you did not come. And on person will be free because if the person on measure stress or fail more, the to assassin. And people be free, you have to let people understand that in crying assassin and Kasa is below sea level. So what I brief upon so who see you direct above Accra. It is made massa and hills and Obumbro hills and Medina hills. All be lying. You are not on any hill. So what I say, what's shaman? And some of the things that we do, yeah, the sun shaman. Will be the deer, then they throw the rubbish away and other things, which is not helping at all. I know me who says you tall baby will be pushy and run will pushy.
So you are not on any hill. Are you on a hill?
I'm on a hill.
Which hill?
I'm on Anyan Mensah Hill.
Anyan Mensah Hill.
Hey, I'm right there. Me did not be slower. Me who feel I say.
Oh.
I think in Ghana me because I think got the hills no so.
But yesterday we were talking about not hearing any casualties and all that. Unfortunately, I think around Adenta, there have been 3 people or 4 people have died. It's quite sad. In as much as we are joking about this and the hills and the whole whatnot, so I mean, this situation needs to be looked at.
I don't know how we're going to solve it. I'm still, yesterday I was.
Well, we must find a way to solve it.
I was thinking about it. I was like, what do we then do?
Yes, what do we do?
What would be the plan to stop the flooding completely?
What do we do? What do we do?
Sankofa for it then.
Sankofa. What are we going back for? Oh, Jackie's bringing. Oh, okay. So Jackie's bringing a song. Sankofa. Okay. Looking forward to that. Sankofa. Interesting. All right. Oh boy. Looks like That's about it. But you want to enter into the Sheldon and Shatawale issue?
The insults and those.
Yeah, the insults is a lot. Let me just break it down. So Sheldon, as part of the flooding, decided to go out of his house to do a video to capture it and let everybody know that yes, his house has been flooded and all that. Then Shatawale came in saying that if he needs help, you should let him know. Sheldon and Shatawale have been at it for the longest time. And Sheldon didn't take it lightly. He started talking, started insulting him. Also brought back his mother, coming out to say that she didn't have anywhere to live and all that. So that's the whole thing that's going on. Kali J also jumped into it because Kali J and Sheldon too, they are at loggerheads. So he too started, and me, the shots that they threw to themselves, I'm not the indirect person. Me, I like direct too. Sometimes then those and that big mouth, what is he saying? And this, so that you would now think of the person. Me, I don't have time for that. Me, I'll mention you straight. Hey, you. What are you saying? Yeah, straightforward. Yeah, no, we don't get time. That's both. Straight. Yeah. Did you have something to say? You didn't have anything to say again.
I had something to say,
but okay.
Because again, I was going to ask if you think Shatawale actually meant bad, like looking at what do you think he meant some malice? Was pun intended in this? Did he want to laugh at him, or do you think he genuinely wanted to help him? You can't tell.
This one, I really can't tell. But I want to let's get into it. I'm not talking about the insults. I just want to find out. See that? You see, the story of Itikuma, the boat and the polytank. River Gods Part 1 and 2.
I'm not going to loud.
No, me, I just want to find out what people are saying behind the post. That's it. Bongo ideas. Chelsea Forever says the sad part is all this while you thought Kwejo lives in a rented and small apartment. LOL. Web Kid Africa says after God fear Shatawale. Superior Star says hey Kwejo shedding what's it? Hey, is that some bars there?
Some bars, my brother.
Granda says Benna Boy said he owns you. Please drop that gist. Ghanaians like reference, so like graduate says Shatawale of Ghana. Dude, Keke says Wale Ankasa, your talent be comedy. You for do skits with Akabeneza Dems. I can't agree, though.
I agree too.
I agree because yeah, I agree. So these are the sentiments that are coming in from people.
You want us to go back to Sheldon then, if we're doing...
Okay. Yes.
This is house.
But he over the weekend he buried his grandma. So our condolences going out to him.
And notice that he had a wonderful relationship with his grandma.
Yes.
I think his grandma even raised him.
Yes.
Yes. One day I fly on the man.
There be so no idea.
So this is
yes.
The situation, yeah.
So Brassadem says, at this point, Kwejo Sheldon is him, whether you like it or yes, closed from work, met a group of workers, and the discussion is, in Suono Aya Sheldon Fio. Okay.
You see,
all right.
Someone raised a very vital point, and I thought that was actually very interesting. This whole time, a lot of people thought, say, say Sheldon Fie, no. Sheldon was such a big, beautiful house. At least if you fly there, when we say, or a house owner, it's a big house. That's also a point you need to look at. But it's not more Bobra, low key. Yeah.
All right, so Plaza 89.9 FM says Kwejo Sheldon has more to say to Shatawale after the latter offered to help. Okay, so we no be kiddies for here. Nobody defeat anybody for here. I extended a hand, you ignored. You extended help, I say, make everyone go bed. Okay. So make everyone go bed here and then make
And
go bed.
everyone. Don't go
And
bed.
on that note, we are sleeping on this case.
Yes.
But we are not yet done with the show.
Nope.
Yeah.
We're getting into our stories for this morning. We'll be right back after this.
Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24. Fun, fearless, and factual.
It's a brand new week here on the AM Club. Good morning. It's May 20. My name is Augustine Adam Kobiti Saint. It's time for us to recap what's been trending here on the news over the past 24 hours, and I do this with Mimi and Jay. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
You eventually write the cake. I'm sorry.
You see. You say you don't know how to teach. But you just easy. She said she doesn't know how to teach.
I'm so
She said she doesn't know how to teach.
No.
I can do the size around. Medium size because you like this.
But yesterday,
wait, how many people are in your family?
So my house alone, we are 4.
You're 4.
Yeah.
Medium canoe size is perfect for you. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. How's the
what's the
situation
situation now?
As of this morning, we are okay.
Okay, so
The water is gone.
From my side, yes, but my neighbors are still suffering.
So, because their water went up a little bit.
It went up.
Yeah.
It went up.
That's what I don't get. What an AI queen.
Eh.
After all, where does the weather?
Thing my mommy says always is that no matter what, water will find its way out.
Yes.
No matter what.
You people, you are sitting in the water. Do you know I actually had to go round to come and pass through your area?
Right.
Like I left
because
the mountains this way.
and the funny thing is, we were the ones suffering from Adenta through to Dodowa to Yarifa, just us in the middle there. Strangely, those in Medina did not, and Butchie experienced a little bit of it.
Yeah.
But seriously affected is Nana Krum, Oyarifa, Amrahia, Dodowa, Adenta, Butchie. These areas were severely affected by the rain.
I could not go through my regular route. See, I used about 45 minutes to get to the pizza. Pizza is it Pizza Man or Eddie's Pizza? Eddie's Pizza at that Adenta. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And then whilst I was going through the areas, I was seeing people suffering.
Yeah.
People were sitting on top. No, man.
We literally slept outside on Sunday night.
Sorry.
But yesterday you were asking as to if we received any sort of, if anybody has come around. As at yesterday, the MP came around, Ramadan came around to assess the situation. And it was nice seeing him. Like I told you yesterday, some parents were a bit skeptical as to if their children should go to school. As at 10 a.m., even though the water was still high, you could see some children in Wellington boots and the MP himself in Wellington boots and helping children through the water. taking them to, safe. So it was good. It was good. He's promised some relief items for those severely affected as well. So we hope to see what happens. That's just an update. But for us who have been taking church, good news for us. Say to a boy, 15% reduction.
Oh, so I was right.
And that's going to be effective
May 24.
May 24.
That's like, this week. Yeah.
Yeah, in a couple of days.
Oh, they should have done the Monday. Friday, who goes to work on a Friday?
Who wants to
Friday,
go to
Saturday, Sunday.
Who wants to go to work?
I know, right? They should have done like Monday, Tuesday or something.
Oh. But that's good news.
That's good news. Yeah. We just hope that it would affect everybody, because we know that these transport unions, they have different groups. GPRTU might reduce it, but with the others also reduce it. So it's generally they are reducing it, but you might pick somebody who is not part of the union's vehicle, and then he says that the fare does not apply. That is when we see the banter between the bus conductor, commonly known as the mate, and then the passenger in the vehicle. But we just hope to see the rollout, how it's going to be done, if it's going to rope in a lot of people or not. But also, before I get into the stories, President Mahama has been petitioned to dissolve the council that is probing the Chief Justice's prima facie incident. Why? Because an individual, that's a private citizen, has certain concerns, genuine concerns that needs the president's attention. So far, we've not heard anything from the presidency, but we hope that today, tomorrow, in the build-up to the week, we'll hear something from the president.
Yeah. Interesting times ahead, but let's get into our stories.
Let's get into our stories for this morning. And start off, as transport fares are set to drop by 15% starting Saturday, May 24, 2025, following successful negotiations between transport operators and the Ministry of Transport. And the fare adjustment reflects recent macroeconomic developments, including a sustained appreciation of the cedi against the US dollar, contributing to a notable drop in fuel prices. Now, the development also comes in the wake of a directive from the Abossey-Okan Spare Parts Dealers Association urging its members to reduce auto parts prices in response to the improved exchange rate. An industrial relations officer for the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, GPRTU, Abbas Moro, confirmed the fare reduction in an interview, describing it as a timely measure to align with ongoing market trends and ease the financial burden on consumers. Away from transports, a Ghanaian citizen, Alfred Abebio Kumi, has petitioned President John Dramani Mahama requesting the immediate dissolution of the 5-member committee constituted to investigate the petitions for the removal of the Chief Justice Gertrude Eraba Isabasaki Tokonu. Now, the petition alleges serious breaches of judicial conduct by members of the committee that, according to the petitioner, undermine the integrity and credibility of the ongoing inquiry. The petition addressed to the President and dated shortly after the committee's first sitting on May 15, 2025, Mr. Kumi expressed grave concern over what he described as a compromising meeting between two committee members, that's Justice Gabriel Palmang and Samuel Abu Aseidu and Thaido Sori, counsel for one of the petitioners in the matter. Now, according to Mr. Kumi, the meeting occurred on the evening of May 15 at a restaurant in Accra's airport residential area and was also attended by Supreme Court Justice Yoni Kulendi. Now, the individuals were reportedly overheard discussing matters relating to the petition, which Mr. Kumi argues constitute a serious conflict of interest and a breach of judicial ethics. Now, Mr. Kumi further alleges that Justice Palmang has previously ruled in favor of the same petitioner, represented by Mr. Sori, while Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu had taken opposing positions in related matters. Now, he also pointed out that Justice Yoni Kulendi, Justice Palmang, and Justice Adibu Seidu are believed to have had prior interest in the Chief Justice's position and were reportedly disappointed after President Akufo-Addo appointed Justice Gertrude Tokonu. Now, he's calling the entire process a potential sham, and Mr. Kumi concluded his petition by urging President Mahama to act swiftly to safeguard the credibility of the constitutional process and to preserve public trust in the administration of justice. Now, let's put this into proper perspective and understand why the Chief Justice is being removed and why the committee probing her is being petitioned. Well, we know that some Months ago, President Mahama received some 3 petitions against the Chief Justice. He later referred these 3 petitions to the Council of State in line with the Constitution, then served notice to the Chief Justice, Gertrude Tokonu, for a response. Once the Council of State determined prima facie, that was weeks later, President John Dramani Mahama, in line with the Constitution and in the spirit of the Constitution, suspended Madame Gertrude Tokonu from office and appointed the Deputy Attorney General, appointed a new Chief Justice to act in her stead. Later, we saw 2 other petitions submitted, making the total petitions submitted against her 5. Now, after this was determined, the President set up a 5-member committee chaired by Justice Scott Palmang to determine or to probe further the petition submitted against the Chief Justice. Now we are seeing a private petitioner, petitioning the President against the 5-member committee that is probing the incident. Probing the petition, he's raised serious concerns that the President should address. We hope to see the President's response in coming days. But we know he's not the only one who has objected against the petitions of the Chief Justice. We know that Vincent Ekwa, Safa, Member of Parliament for Otafo, also ran to the Supreme Court to secure an injunction, which we know was, dismissed by the Supreme Court. Now we see this. We hope to see the trajectory of this conversation and the response the presidency will be giving to these petitions, if they would be responding to them. As always, we'll be your eyes and ears and bring you updates as and when this story develops. But the 2024 MPP flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has attributed his loss in the last presidential election to what he calls a deeply entrenched pattern in the country's political history. The former vice president was emphatic that Ghanaians seldom vote for first-time presidential candidates. Now, interacting with members of the Young Executive Forum in London as part of his thank you tour, Dr. Bawumia reflected on the party's defeat and expressed confidence about a political comeback in 2028.
I also think that we did not do that one is true. It's not everything that we did right. And I want to acknowledge that on my own behalf, on behalf of the party, on behalf of the government, I want to render an unqualified apology to all of you, for all the things that we did not do. Unqualified apology to all of you, for all the things that we did not do. Please forgive me. One can say, I believe by the grace of God, and if we get another chance.
That was the flag bearer, the 2024 election flag bearer for the New Patriotic Party, who is saying that he hopes that the party makes a bigger comeback in the 2028 general elections. Now, the Member of Parliament for Denta, Mohammed Adamu Ramadan, has called for a non-partisan approach to addressing Ghana's persistent flooding issues. Now, his remarks follows the devastating floods that occurred on Sunday, May 18, 2025, which caused significant property damage and reportedly claimed at least 3 lives within the Adentan municipality. In an interview during an assessment tour of the affected communities on Monday, May 19, Ramadan expressed support for government's plans to demolish illegal structures built on waterways and called for firm and decisive action to prevent further disasters. Unfortunately, we can't get you this interview at this moment, but it will be made available on our social media pages if you stay glued to MX24GH on all social media pages, as well as MX24 News. Moving on, the Director General of the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SNIT, Mr. Kwesi Efriye Binding, has noted that it will not sell any of the SNIT hostels, but will make them profitable. Now, he disclosed in an interview on the company's investment portfolios at the opening of the new SNIT branch at Spintex, Accra, on Monday, May 19.
Every year, to increase our pension payouts, we do what we call indexation, which is actually a function of, you look at the inflation rate, you look at the returns that you are getting, you look at membership contribution, and then you decide to what level do you want to increase pension payout to pensioners. Now, to be able to give more requires us to ensure that our investments are yielding returns that enables us to give more. And that's why I earlier flagged the point that it is crucial that we help change those non-performing assets into performing assets. We've looked at reviewing our investment portfolio. We've looked at which areas are giving us the best returns, and we are beginning to channel our resources into areas that give us the best returns. We've made a decision that the fixed income securities is an area that has been yielding good returns for us. So we'll keep pushing quite a number of our investments into the fixed income securities. Some listed equities have done great for us, particularly those in the banks, those in the banking industry, as well as those in the telco space. That has yielded some great investment for us, so it's an area we'll keep pushing money into. Power has been an area where we've had great results. So it's also an area that we are looking at. And that's the reason why our only power plant at Tema, we are expanding Senate to have an operation in Kumasi, not only to expand on power provision for the people of Ghana, but also to ensure that since it's an area that is giving us good returns, it should be an area that we enhance our activities in. Watch out for what we will do with our facilities that were to be sold. I can assure you we will not sell those facilities. We'll turn around those facilities and we'll have an event to speak.
Now, the family of former President Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings has expressed gratitude to the government and the people of Burkina Faso for the naming of a street after him, describing it as an honor not only to the family but to the people of Ghana. Now, the naming of the avenue came a day after the grand inauguration of a mausoleum in Ouagadougou, housing the remains of Thomas Sankara and his 12 companions who died on October 15, 1987, of which J.J. Rawlings played a significant role in the project. Now, he was the honorary chair of the Sankara Memorial Committee until his passing in 2022. Ms. Asantua Ajiman Rawlings, daughter of Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, who was accompanied by her brother Kimathi Ajiman Rawlings, said the naming of the avenue marked a significant milestone as it serves as a reminder has dismissed recent calls from the minority in Parliament for the publication of a load management timetable amid ongoing power outages, commonly known as DUMSO. In a statement issued on Monday, May 19, the ministry, through its spokesperson and head of communications, Richmond Roxon Esquire, emphasized that that Ghana's current power generation capacity is adequate to meet national demand, including during peak hours. Now, the ministry further stated that there is no justification for a load-shedding timetable at this time, reaffirming the government's dedication to ensuring stable electricity supply. The ministry assured Ghanaians of its commitment to addressing distribution issues and sustaining consistent power delivery. Now, they referenced a press conference by the minority in Parliament. Let's walk you through, or let's bring you highlights from the press conference the minority had yesterday.
As a seasoned member of the Energy Committee and former Deputy Minister, we expected the Minister to confront these challenges head-on, rather than resorting to political rhetoric. Let us be clear, the current administration, when leaving office in 2017, left the sector in critical condition, which culminated into legacy issues. 4 years of relentless doomsday, where businesses collapsed, hospitals struggled, and students studied under candlelight. Members of the press, on January 7, 2017, the Nana Addo government took over an energy sector burden with over $2 billion in debt, primarily due to excess capacity payment linked to legacy take-or-pay contracts. These poorly negotiated contracts imposed an annual financial burden of nearly $1 billion on our economy for power that was neither needed nor utilized. In a parliamentary response, the then Finance Minister, Honorable Ken Ufori Atta, confirmed that the previous administration was paying $500 million annually in excess capacity charges for power that was negotiated but ultimately unsuccessful, unnecessary.
Now let's walk you through the statement released by the Ministry of Energy this morning. Ghana's generation capacity enough to meet peak demand. Minorities call for load management timetable misplaced. Our attention has been drawn to a press conference held by the minority in Parliament demanding a publication of a load management timetable. It is instructive to note that as a country, our current power supply capacity is adequate to meet existing demand, even during peak hours, whilst acknowledging that we inherited an extremely challenged distribution system. The government and the power sector players continue to take the needed steps to permanently resolve the challenges. The current power generation capacity is significant to meet peak demand. Hence, there is no basis for a load shedding timetable at this time. The government remains committed to the consistent provision of electricity to the Ghanaian people. Signed by Richmond Roxon Esquire, spokesperson and head of communications at the Ministry of Energy and Green Transitions. Now, we would understand why they are saying this. Why? Because as at last week, when the Minister for Energy and Green Transition said that they have 2.6 days of electricity supply left, he also noted that there was provision for some fuel to be brought into the country. According to them, this fuel has landed in the country and then would cater for the deficit in electricity supplies, stating that Ghanaians would not need to go through doomsday even during peak hours today. Well, it remains to be seen. But if you're experiencing intermittent power challenges, let us know the area in which you are and what the situation is, how many times in a day the electricity goes off in a day. We'll want to know and make a proper assessment of the situation. Now, in a bid to promote the Word of God among children, Miss Manan Kids has launched the maiden edition of the Bible Olympics Challenge. Now, the challenge is aimed at awakening God consciousness in children, as well as building literacy skills and confidence in communication among young adults. Now, speaking to MX24 News, the creator of Bible Olympics, Mrs. Maria Agozi, explained the rationale behind the creation of the event.
Bible Olympics, you know what Olympics is about. There are a variety of sporting activities. And so we thought that we want to bring the Bible to life. We want children to love reading Bible. So Bible Olympics is bringing the Bible to life in different facets. So we want them to compete on Bible memorization. We want them to compete on being able to do topical study. We want them to compete on knowing verses or different words. I mean, very interesting names that have different spellings on it. So different facets of knowing scripture, but then in different blocks. Any dimension that you can look at it so that it becomes fun for the children reading word but competing on it, so it will motivate them actually to learn more. So Bible Olympics is essentially for the school front. We're hoping to do this in September. This year being the maiden edition, our theme is faith, because we just launched the faith flashcards. So apart from the little drops, general scriptures, we're going to give you the faith edition. So you're supposed to be learning about heroes of faith, everything about faith, and then we add all the fun aspect of it. So you pick up the revision pack, and then we register. We expect schools to compete among themselves and then present 5-10 students to come and compete on the school's front. We're opening this to all schools in Accra. Come register, go prepare, come let's battle. But we are trusting and believing that this is going to go.
Well, if you are a young adult who wants to know the Word of God, in as much as you know, but you want to be concrete firm in it, this is the opportunity to join the Bible Olympics Challenge, where you get to not only know the Word of God, but also build some literacy and communication skills. So I was at the event, Mimi and Jay, I was at the event, and then one thing that struck me at this event was the fact that she had flashcards. So it's more or less like the card, the spanner, that card box, it's in the shape of that. And then she has I think 58 Bible verses in that pack. So if you're able to study one a week, that's what she says, not even a day. If you take one a week and you're able to memorize and study it, you'll be able to memorize 58 verses in a year. If you consistently do it, I'm sure by 2030, Genesis to Revelations to back to
I
back.
want to take Momsen, Momsen is a young adult who needs the word of God. And Jeff, actually, Jeff.
What's the range, age range?
So mainly it's for kindergarten through to junior high school. But she also has the pack for adults who want to, because some of us.
So Momsen and Jeff will go. Girl, when I'm the account, no, the girls say they're okay. I was going to mention it, but she's no longer here. So, yeah, so Momsen and Jeff, when you're ready, we'll call Bible school.
Bible Olympics.
Bible Olympics.
Yeah, Bible Olympics.
Righty.
Okay. That's how I wrap the curtains on. That's how I draw the curtains on this morning's bulletin. We're most grateful for your company. Well, enjoy the rest of the show, but join us on mx24online.com for more news and updates. Or you can follow us on social media pages. It's mx24gh and mx24 news on Instagram.
Thank you very much for coming through with those stories. Still on the campaign of buying a boat. When you buy the boat, let us know.
But I'm told that the rains are going to be coming again.
Yes. Yes.
No, but we've not seen anything yet. Oh.
Really?
Masa. Hey, now you are scaring me.
It's not about being scared. You see. This is what we don't take into consideration.
Right. We should be prepared.
But we know that it's June, July.
Right.
We know that it's June, July. Yeah. You get it. But it started raining.
But
January.
But this time, if you study the pattern and then the intensity of the rain is different.
Yes, and it doesn't even they give you
warnings.
Signs.
Yes, it can be real scorching, and then the
because
next thing,
then it's raining. It was going to rain.
Exactly.
The next thing is raining. So what are we doing? Are we that prepared? I'll now borrow your words. Mimi always says that. What are we doing?
Right.
How are we preparing ourselves for
coming?
That's it.
Hey, because if we have Sundays,
because when it's coming, it's not and crowd.
There's no going out,
and crowd.
No going out.
You get it.
No going out.
When I was going to church on Sunday, it was sunny.
Exactly. Even as a Sunday afternoon, it was
Sunday afternoon. It was sunny.
It was sunny.
Around 1. It started around 1.
1-ish. 2-ish. Yeah.
I had to go back home, go and take something, and then come back to church. Trust me. So it took me like 2 hours.
Oh, you went back, right?
Look at Tantra and Kwabenya. It should take me like 20 minutes to get there.
Right.
It took me 2 hours. Because barrier.
All right.
So I had to pass through Dome, and there was traffic everywhere. See, let's brace ourselves, man. Let's just brace ourselves.
But we hope that the mayor is listening. We hope that the Greater Accra Regional Minister is also listening. So far, she hasn't said anything about it. Which is strange.
If I go and say it right now, they'll say I'm picking on the woman.
I know, right? But strangely, this morning, the focus of the mayor is decongesting our markets. He's visited the Makola market. He's currently in one of the markets in Accra. Before I came on air, he was, visiting the market. I was like, okay, maybe if you channel that attention to
your flooding situation, maybe it will make sense.
Yeah.
Because that area is also where Madam Okulu is MP.
Yeah, Dodoa.
So if she and her cohorts are not speaking, when Mimi come and say, then they'll call me and they'll tell me that I'm picking on the woman.
She's not suffering.
That reminds me, I saw Honorable Asenso Boache yesterday talking about the president wanting to, get a different capital.
Oh,
did you see that?
That
like
conversation
a decongestion. So I wanted to actually ask you whether the president did say that.
No.
Yes. Oh, well, he mentioned that. He mentioned that. Yeah. Decongest Accra, where we make other regions have some of these ministries and public public sector.
I think his was more administrative.
Yeah, so he said he's moving some of the ministries out of Accra so that those places will also get some level of development. Yeah. So it's not like make them capitals as well, but also give it that phase
more
where
like bring it to the grassroots.
Okay, so now I get the whole scope coming in from Honorable. I get the whole scope.
Honorable, don't misinterpret this thing.
I get the whole scope now.
But he was great at his time. He was housing, Works in housing.
Yes.
No, but he moved to roads.
He moves to roads and highways.
At some point. But
initially he was and House, and then they brought Kojo Ponkroma, and then he moved to Works and Highways.
I think he didn't do bad Works and House. Maybe he understands some of these things.
Hey, speaking about Works and House, and Honorable Gisela Tete, good morning.
Good morning. What did he do?
Works and House, people's houses are, flooded, and we've not had anything.
Hey.
We've not had anything. We demand accountability.
The question here is what's happening?
But they are not talking. It's giving me anxiety.
Maybe they are doing the work. Yeah, maybe they are doing the work like low-key, but we are not.
We don't like that.
When do you want them to come?
I said this morning that communicate to us, but solutions.
Right.
Tell us what you're doing. Don't come and tell us what is the problem. We know. In fact, we don't honestly care, genuinely. If you tell me that I don't have money, I know that I have money in my dreams. Don't come and tell me I don't have money. Tell me that you're coming to give me solutions to fix our money situation.
Right.
Don't tell me, because we know that So tell us what your solutions to these problems are. It's okay. Every 2 minutes I will get press conference. And you see, this conference is destroying my mental. Because now I have to go into that meeting.
It is the way now press conferences are unannounced and the media is not there.
And the media said now
Question to what you just said. Yeah. Would you be fed up of communication and not the work not being done?
Yes.
Would you be fed up?
That would exhaust anybody.
Yeah. Exactly. So what if I don't want to talk to you, but I want to solve it?
But at least tell us.
So I'm keeping quiet.
I said something. I said, don't communicate to us the problem. You have been voted into power to give us solutions. What is, even if it's in 10 years, tell us what you're going to do. What is the plan?
What if I keep on telling you what I'm going to do and I don't do it?
It's wrong to be quiet in the first place.
Okay.
It's wrong.
Yeah.
That's why people are picking on some judge. It's not because it's some judge. It's because he was very active in opposition. Talking about how our data could be less. Talking about how we could solve Galamsey in 1 week. Why are you in power and not talking?
Right.
Which means that whilst you were having these conversations, you didn't have a solution. You're just propagating agenda that was to to disadvantage the SWL government. Unless, of course, you tell me that you have a solution, but now that you have in power, you don't have the money for the solution. Tell us something.
Right.
But don't come and complain to us because we want to complain to you.
We know the problem more than
we want to complain.
We are the ones who have the complaints.
We have something
we are the
to
ones
tell
feeling
you.
it.
Yeah.
As you said.
Yeah.
You said, Honorable Minister might not feel it. So we are the ones feeling it. So we want to talk.
Right.
You get it. But for some George, yes, some other things that are coming to him is because he's some George too. So now we'll leave it that one on that side. Yeah. Anyways, all right. Thank you so much for coming in with in-depth stories right here on the show. Now time for us to cross over. It's time to get into sports. We'll be right back.
Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24. Fun, fearless, and factual.
All right, so it's time for us to get into sports this early morning. Is it early for you? That's the question. But anyways, it's time to get rewarded as the next big sports betting influencer with Betway. Place bets and share your codes with friends, fans, and followers. If they place bets using your code, you earn a 4% off their wager. It doesn't matter if it's a win or a loss. If they bet, you earn cash. And the more people bet with your code, the more you earn. Start betting, sharing, and winning with Bet Influencer. Exclusive to Betway. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet the responsible way. Betway. Get way more. Now on to our first story. Legon Cities have been relegated from the GPL after Nations FC secured a 4-1 victory over them yesterday at the University of Ghana Stadium, reclaiming top spot in the Premier League. The visitors took the lead in the 20th minute through Kelvin Ampofo, but Rabin Usman Sanon's goal in the 40th minute restored parity. Nations FC then dominated the second half, with Emmanuel Ano restoring the lead in the 64th minute, and Sadiq Al-Hassan's goal. Ampofo's brace sealed the win, securing Nations FC's 57 points and putting them back at the top of the league table with only 3 matches remaining. Well, still on football, Brighton secured a 3-2 victory over Liverpool, keeping their hopes of playing in Europe next season alive. The hosts went behind in the 9th minute after Harvey Elliott scored, but Yassine Ayari leveled in the 32nd minute. Brighton managed to go in a goal down at the break, but Fabian Huzela made changes after the break to turn the game in their favor. Karu Mitoma brought on in the 64th minute, equalized for 4 minutes later, cleverly scoring off a rebound from Danny Welbeck's effort. Brighton continued to chase a winner and finally got it through Jack Hirschenwald, who struck late in the game, potentially qualifying for Europe if other results go their way.
Gruder's still going. Gruder goes.
Time for us to switch from football, get into some tennis action. Kei Nishikori earned his biggest win on clay in 4 years yesterday when he overcame American learner Tien 4-6, 6-4, 6-4 to reach the second round at the Conak Geneva Open. The Japanese star saved all 3 break points he faced in the third set to earn a hard-fought 2-hour, 8-minute win against the world number 67. It is the first time. you earn a 4% wager. So please start sharing, start sharing, start sharing, all right? It doesn't matter if they or they lose. So far as you've given it to them and they've used it, you will definitely earn a 4% wager. So terms and conditions apply, regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet the responsible way. Betway, get way more. Do well to visit the MX24 app. I keep on saying this. Go to Google Play Store or App Store right now. Look for MX24 and download the app and catch up on all the fun, the excitement of this shows, and featuring engaging conversations, thrilling live segments, and exclusive content you cannot afford to miss out.
Now catch up with all the fun, the breaking news stories, sports, and business insights on mx24online.com. It's time for entertainment and showbiz right after this.
Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24. Fun, fearless, and factual.
Good morning, everybody. You're welcome to Entertainment News segment right here on the AM Club. My name is Daphne Flashley, and ladies and gentlemen, I brought to you today with the stories. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm blessed.
She's
very
not a birthday girl. She's
beautiful
not a birthday
and
girl.
very successful. Yesterday you were just eating. I said,
On the rest of I give her cash.
Ooh.
Hey, you did.
Yeah,
How much?
he flew out my
Why
car.
do you want to know how much?
He flew out my car yesterday.
Why do you want to know how much?
Mimi, is that for you? I remember never came.
You talk too much.
Yes.
You talk too
Yesterday I
much.
was telling her she doesn't have faith.
She doesn't have faith.
Only faith. Faith no the only.
You
One has faith no only be.
only be. I also
You
come
don't
back
have faith.
to the basics
Back to the roots.
and learn faith. Eh?
Go to Hebrews.
Please.
Go to Hebrews.
I know. Now,
So how was your birthday yesterday, though?
oh, I had fun. I had an amazing time.
Hey, you look like you had some surprises.
Ooh.
I come to accuse you of giving you surprises.
I was like, no, this surprise is from me.
It's from Mimi.
It's from Mimi. I was like, it's Mimi that can pull this off like so you know how Mimi, as we always say, her wedding, right? She could be married right now, sitting here. Probably they are doing reception and she just came to do body show to change and go back.
Which is something I can
That
actually do. Something I can easily
that
do.
is how she can sit here right now, and she's the one that sent me the gift, and then she's sitting here. And
Did you enjoy it? Did you like the gift?
I did. I
Awesome.
love gifts, and I'm happy. This
So
one
was it her?
wasn't
Was it me?
her.
So why are you claiming like
I
did you
know.
enjoy the gift?
No, I was just asking
No,
how
really,
she.
you
The
know
way you
about
they claim I'm like you be.
I know they claim I'm awesome. I know they claim I'm. I'm
She
just
didn't claim
asking
it.
how she enjoyed the gift.
I enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Hey, Minister they put it. Anyway, let's focus on birthday girl. What you
Well,
have in the world of entertainment?
People were sad and devastated about the flood, but guess who gave us the time of our lives on Twitter about the flood? Shatawale versus Kojo Sheldon. I don't know if you followed that story, but man, I followed the story the whole night. This is tweeting, this Bongo Ideas was in the mix. It was a lot. Now, it all started with just a video of Kojo Sheldon posting how his house flooded and how sad it is. And Shatawale, which I think that he was saying it out of, you know, Because honestly speaking, he wasn't like angry or anything. He was just saying it like, bro, this is very, very serious. Let me know if I can help you in any way. But Coach Sheldon didn't take that really, really well. I think he took it as something else and then said that help he should go and use to help his mother. Then that is when all hell broke loose. And so it was a series of tweets here and there. Shatawale, I'll say one. The tweet has down because the things I was reading where he said that, Charlie, you should have told me that you and Scanty use ship boats to cross your house. In fact, there's a whole lot. And so let's take a look at the video and then we follow the story from afterwards.
My house is flooded. So we're going to go.
Okay, so let's see the tweet of when Shatawale responded to it, offering help to Coach Sheldon. He said, "This is serious. Sorry, brother. Let me know if you need some help. So sorry, Charlie." Then Sheldon was not happy. He said I should use that help to. He actually this morning, Coach Sheldon, is he in therapy? Because this morning he has taken down all the tweets.
Read the message now. This is serious. Sorry, brother. Let me know if you need some help. So sorry. Charlie, this comes from a good place. If I read it, I'll be like, oh, this my enemy actually likes me.
Right.
I think if Sheldon would have replied that, oh bro, Charlie, yeah, thank you, but you said make I feel some cash.
In a joking way.
Yeah, in a joking way. Shatta would have probably given him that money.
Done something. Yeah, he would have done something.
Because he was genuinely sorry.
I think he was really sorry.
Yeah. I'm just happy that I got to take my screenshots yesterday, because this one, I woke up this morning and Coach Sheldon has taken everything down. But let's take a look at some series, especially from Bongo Ideas. Let's take what Bongo Ideas had to say. Had to say about the situation. So Bongo Ideas was saying, why not use that help to find your mom a better accommodation? She deserves that more than some big-headed guy on the internet. Who called him?
Who invited him?
Who invited you in the mix?
Nobody invites Bongo.
Nobody.
He gets into the space when he feels like.
Why does he do that? He's intentionally doing that, right?
Yes.
He always
he gets in the space when he feels like. I mean, that's Bongo Ideas for you.
Well, now that is when it's all started, and so we're going to take a look at some Coach Sheldon tweets and then take a look at some Shatawale tweets. And so let's do some Coach. Now Coach Sheldon was like, they want me to beg for help. I said I don't need no help. They are mad, bro. He then fans all they mad based on our history. Them for no say I know the fear. I'm laughing my ass out at Peter. Someone says Shatta can insult anybody, even unprovoked, but make nobody move to him. Never. Nothing anybody go fish show Sheldon. Wow. Okay. Moving on. Now, this is where it gets messy. Shatawale was like, oh, Papa water. He said, and they can't hold my own Twitter space. So that video actually sent it, but I think this morning it's been taken down. Yeah, so the video has been taken down. It's like, fix your house, then you talk people where fix them a house. And then he says, you they walk rainwater swimming pool inside like Terminator 5. Said, you should have told us you and see the sit skinny top. They talk people them a matter. We never knew. And it's a whole lot. Just take a look at this. Shatawale, he said the story of Etikuma, the boat and the Politang, River Gods Part 1 and 2. Wow. This was a lot going on.
This for me shows that he was not serious one bit about, he didn't intend to upset Sheldon or to troll him or anything. I think genuinely it might have taken him aback and he's making jokes of them. Yeah.
I think not everything should be taken serious. That's the thing.
You see, I also understand Sheldon. See, if I got beef with you, we got beef even when I'm dying. Like, you don't talk to me. Why are we talking? we're not cool. If you see me dying, pass.
Madam.
Yes.
Is that
yes. So I get where he's coming from. Where he's like, don't come and show me. And if I'm looking for sympathy, I know where he's going for sympathy. You shouldn't be the first person trying to give me help because you don't like me. And I'm not about to take help from someone who does not like me. Say you, Bob.
I get where you're coming from, but I don't know, this topic is very, very sensitive. And don't you think that this should make you know that Shatta Wale is not here to play games or anything because of how sensitive? We all know how the floods really ruin things and people's properties. And so if this is genuinely from his heart, JKD, isn't this supposed to let Sheldon know that, Charlie, this one?
No, you see, that's why I'm saying that I don't know the... Because if it was a situation where it's Sheldon, let's say Sheldon and then Shatta, you know, had some small coming together in one way or the other, then I would have expected Sheldon not to take it that serious. But I understand, I mean, beef is beef. And even if I'm not cool with you, and all of a sudden you're trying to be nice to me, I will think twice about it.
I will fear you.
I will fear you.
No.
You get me?
I'm getting him.
So definitely Sheldon will feel like, no, this one is like throwing a shade. Although Shatta didn't say anything shady. You get me?
Get him from that protest as well.
So
he's hurt. He's hurt. He might want to make jokes of what is going on even with him. But Charlie, things poor. You know, in house flood, right? He cannot go out. Probably something important of his has gotten spoiled and whatnot. Then the first person who's going to be asking him if he needed help or who's going to be offering help is someone who has actually
attacked him before.
Yo, bro, no, I'm not taking this.
Your eyes are going to be like, hey, what do you want?
Yeah. What you got in this? You wanna laugh at me? You want to laugh at me right now?
Yeah, I get it.
Man.
Well, so that's what happened yesterday. It was such I mean, it's good to make light about the situation, even though sometimes it's not nice, but, you know, make light about the situation. Anyway, we're moving away from that, and we've had so many royalties conversations. I spoke about, Camido spoke about royalties, that lots of musicians that we have had the royalties conversation here. Like it's an entire episode dedicated to royalties. And joining the royalties conversation is Lali and Lola. Yeah, so they're demanding royalties from Boomplay since 2023, since their music has been on Boomplay. They've not received any royalties. Now, I like how they did it. They didn't take it to court. They didn't do anything. They didn't attack. Straight to Ministry of Communications. Yes. So let's get into it. The Ghanaian music duo Lali and Lola are demanding accountability from streaming giants Boomplay after going over a year without receiving royalties. Ghanaian music duo Lali and Lola are demanding accountability from Boomplay, a streaming giant, for unpaid royalties exceeding a year, in a petition to Minister of Communications and Digital Technology, Samuel Nat George. They expressed frustration over the lack of transparency regarding their earnings since April 2023. Despite multiple efforts, both Boomplay and the distribution partners have ignored their queries. Lali and Lola are not only seeking resolution for their personal case, but also urging the government to establish oversight for digital service providers in Ghana. This call to action has sparked solidarity from other musicians on social media who share similar concerns. Other artists like Celestine Donko have faced familiar issues with Boomplay, with her manager Kofi Donko publicly calling out the platform for unpaid royalties. And so let's take a look at the statements they brought out yesterday. Okay, so it says, date 19th May 2025 to Honorable Samuel Nate George, Minister of Communications, Digital Technology and Innovation, MOC Office Complex, Abdul Delof Road, Ridge. It says, Dear Honorable Minister, Subject: appeal for ministerial intervention on non-payment of streaming revenue by Boomplay. We write to draw your attention to a matter of urgent concern regarding Boomplay, a digital service provider operating in Ghana and across the continent who streams and sells music and videos content online. We have been informed by our various distributors that since April 2023, we stand to be corrected. Our distros representing Ghanaian music group Lali and Lola have not received any reliable accounting nor revenue from Boomplay for the streaming of our content. Despite repeated attempts to engage the platform to resolve this issue, there has been consistent irresponsiveness and non-payments, which raises serious concerns about transparency, accountability, and fair compensation. We deeply appreciate platforms like Boomplay that offer valuable opportunities for both emerging and established artists to reach fans and grow digitally. However, when such platforms fail to meet basic obligations to rights holders timely, especially by withholding payment, it borders on exploitation of Ghanaian creative talent. Honorable Minister, we respectfully urge your office to investigate this issue and help establish better regulatory oversight over DSPs operating within Ghana's digital and creative economy. Making and promoting music is neither easy nor inexpensive. It takes time, effort, and significant financial investment, often from the artists themselves. It is therefore unjust and disheartening when musicians are denied revenue for their work. We are confident that with your leadership and commitment to digital fairness and innovation, measures can be introduced to ensure that Ghanaian creatives are protected and justly compensated by digital platforms. Nicely and neatly done. One thing I took from it is exploitation.
I cannot speak for it. It could be anything. It could be anything. The company could be facing challenges in even collecting the revenue. I mean, there could be anything that could be the issue. So now it is their job to respond to this appropriately and not look at this as an attack. Because these girls are working so hard, they're spending their own money, no sponsor, their own money on these projects that they do. And so some sort of royalty should be, directed to them. If they're not getting it, give us a reason why. It's not like, unless of course the songs are not being streamed, and then you should have some sort of a justification for this, because it's not fair. It's not fair to them. So they should, Boomplay should come out, let us know why these artists don't have their royalties. And I think this shouldn't be a difficult issue at all.
Yeah, I think when Boomplay was coming into the market, this is the first thing they said, that it was going to be rest assured and guaranteed. Right? Yeah, so it's quite
it could be facing any challenge.
I'm expecting Boomplay to reply to this. I mean, they will definitely see this. So I'm expecting them, because if it's not only Lali and Lola, and we've had other musicians come out to, call them out, then, because that was Celestine, I remember that, and they didn't sing anything. So if this one is coming out again, then you need to come out and say something. What are your challenges? What are you facing? Because it doesn't look good in the face of, it's not good.
Yeah, blocks their future investments and all of that. Well, moving away from that, let's have a conversation about the just ended TGMA. Now, Ghanaian rapper Lyrical Joe has expressed disappointment after losing the Best Rap Performance Award at the 2025 Telecel Ghana Music Awards. Despite consistently delivering high-quality work, particularly with his 5th August series, he felt his efforts should have earned him the award. Lyrical Joe revealed that his 10-minute 5th August track took a significant toll on him creatively, emotionally, and financially, making the loss especially disheartening. And so he said this in an interview. And why? No, I get it.
What do you get? So because your project cost you, you deserve an award. Is that what he's saying? Unless I'm not getting the context properly.
Wait, who won the award though?
I think I've forgotten.
I don't, personally, I don't think that what you put into a project.
Yeah, it's Kweku Smoke.
Kweku Smoke.
Yeah.
Kweku Smoke, what? That one.
Listen, it's not like he's not won this award before.
Yeah, he has.
Yes, so there are times and seasons.
Well, I think
for me.
There was one time there was a moment on the red carpet when they asked, I think they asked Trigmatic, Regina asked Trigmatic, I was there, who do you think is taking the best rapper since you've won in this category? And he pointed at, Lyrical Joe was standing there, I was like, this man deserves it. So I think it bigged him up. Because
you see, the fact that people are telling you that you deserve something does not mean that you actually going to come to you.
Yeah.
Everybody in that category deserved it. That's why they put them there. And so if you don't, it's okay to feel pain. That you see, losing something is not easy, right? But the justification for it, yo man, come again next time. Which means that this time, if you found yourself in the category, what you should do next time is to work twice as hard.
Right.
Because if your goal is to win that award, then you know that, and my contenders were also quite tight. That's why they were in the same category as me. I'm going to work twice as hard. It's not. But then again, I'm going to say this to buttress my point. It's okay to feel the pain.
Yeah.
It's okay to feel disappointed and don't say they robbed you.
Yeah.
TJ, we cried there. You are calling them Arab. You've been calling them Arab since I was little. Since I was a child.
I think people should enter award shows with open mind. That's the thing. You see, when you enter with a particular mindset, like I'm in it, I'm winning it or not, then that's when you feel the pain more. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we have for you today on the Entertainment News segment. My name is Daphne Flashley, and I'm the entertainment pilot. You see, when I say entertainment pilot, then they play. It's time for us to,
fly away.
No, because I took you through entertainment, right?
So you're now landing.
I'm landing. So I'm handing over to the main pilots of the show. I see you same
We
time.
are not the main pilots.
You are the main pilots of the show.
No, we're not the main.
Well, I am the main pilot of the show. I don't know about him.
Yeah.
I don't know about him. Anywho, thank you so much, Daphne, for coming through with those entertainment stories. Well, in today's dynamic business environment, a robust workforce is pivotal to achieving success, and this is why we at Equity Health Insurance, we've designed something amazing for you. And of course, this is for your corporate, for every individual who corporate space, we have designed something uniquely designed for them, and we're encouraging you to jump onto this one. It's exciting, and one other thing that I want to encourage us to do is to jump on all social media platforms, follow Equity Health Insurance, make sure you jump onto their platforms to enable that system of yours that is work to be empowered. All your workers deserve insurance, and Equity Health Insurance is the one that we are recommending for you.
All right, Telesell Cash. Yes, Telesell Cash. Yes, it's time for you to send money and send in a keke. So what you see, it's even better when you're sending from Telesell Cash to Telesell Cash. It's free, quite free. Just dial *110# *110#. Now send it keke. All right, Telesell making that happen. All right, so. There's a lot to ravel. But hey, let me just say happy birthday to director Eric Za, or is Eric Ja? Yes, DZ. It's Ja. Yes. Director Eric Ja. This is coming in from Rhoda Donko and all. Happy birthday to you, Director Eric Ja. Happy birthday to you, sir.
All right. Awesome. Well, today we're going to have a conversation that I think is important to all of us. Not that I think, it's very important to all of us. We're talking data privacy on Lifestyle Daily today. It's going to be an amazing conversation. Do not move and limp, because we're going to have a good conversation. There's so many things that you and I do not know. Did you know that if you buy your SIM card, that paper, you're supposed to read it? Well, that's the reason why we are giving you this show, for you to learn. Because I always tell you that on Lifestyle Daily, we're learning and growing together. So let's stay right here on this platform, because we're about to have a great conversation. Be right back after this.
Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24.com. MX24, fun and factual.
time I was not yet into the farming, life was so tough. If we look at the whole Ghana, our economy, it lies on agriculture. Without agriculture, Ghana cannot grow. I have been in the farming business 6 good years. The crops that I'm producing here is groundnut, maize, soya beans, yams, beans, sesame, and I also do some small animals. The reason why I started this farm is that I realized that there's in the agricultural sector and many people are away from the sector.
I don't think there's anything else one can do without going to the farm. That is the only source that you can get food and money. It's very, very beneficial to us in this community.
What is here? We have women's groups who are into VSL, village service and loans. I've been engaging with them, and they are the people that always help in terms of sowing and work for the sowing, the harvest, and whatever is going in the farm here, they are supposed to it through the...
We usually farm early. Sometimes first rain, we start farming. The challenges.
Sometimes how to get a tractor to plow is not easy.
When the tractor even comes, they give you the price they want. Because you are in need of it, you have to purchase it.
We don't have the sowing equipment, so we have to use manpower.
Sometimes maize, so we don't have thrashers. We need to depend on our men to thrash, and we the women also go and remove the shells by the wind.
There are ideas that we always want to bring in, but because of the limited capital. Gradual. When I started small, it was through farming that I was able to further my education. I'm able to get my own house, buy 2 of them, and my siblings and all of them, I've been able to take good care of them in terms of their education and some support. And the women too, we have been teaching them how to save their own money and how to use it, how to create business for themselves, how to grow it. The experience that they will come and see is not how they were farmed, and they also get something out of the farm to go and feed their families.
Sly farms, they are doing a great job. They negotiate for some of these NGOs to come and help us in the farming process. Sometimes they come around, do monitoring to see that whatever they've taught us is going on.
I buy groundnut from Sly Farm, and I use the groundnut to do groundnut sticks, TP, and the oil. When I don't have money to come and pay cash, but they normally give me the groundnut, when I finish doing it, I'll come and pay it back. And I use it to take care of students at school, and that's what I'm using to provide food for my child and all of my family members.
His work in the village is very, very useful. I personally, he has given me a guide at my maize. I have planted 12 years. I've enjoyed his partnership. And not only myself, but other village members too.
By 3 to 4 years, I want the business to be a high-top business. So our beneficiaries will be more within all the sectors, and people from outside Accra, outside the region, will know what we are doing here, can also come to learn from it.
The service is relevant to the community is very good. So on behalf of the Bolivian community and other elder brothers of myself, we thank him, and we still need him to be here so that you can benefit more from him.
Sly Farms, thank you.
My name is Longe Abdulrazak Sylvester, the CEO of Sly Farms. Ghana grows, hope day.
you that we're learning and growing together on this platform. So please stay with us. Today we're going to learn power pen, no paper. Not paper, book. Because I come to write. Me, I came with my pen and paper, okay? Right? You can see that the app is different because we're coming to you from Conak Technology here in East Legon. My name is Anyan Mensah. Now let's get into it. So data privacy and unauthorized use of personal data information or personal information is what we're going to be looking at today. And it has become imperative for us to have this conversation because, I mean, I don't know if you've ever had this experience where you just then some company that is there, that is not your friend, it's not your family members, they just send you a message. And you're thinking, how did they get my number? And very recent, you also heard that, oh, these telcos, they sell our contact information to these companies and they are not giving a share. They're not giving a share of the sales they're making. Is that true? Is that fact? Is that what is happening? Are these telcos taking advantage of our ignorance of what the space is, so this technological space is supposed to be to sell our data that to market, and what does this imply? How safe are we? Well, we're going to have a conversation shortly, and I'm joined by founder of Conak Technology, Africa's open technology powerhouse, and he is in person of Mr. Bernard Anyan Mensah. Did I pronounce that well?
Correct.
Anyan Mensah.
Anyan Mensah.
Yeah, right now you can't do anything to me because now I'm pronouncing post name anyhow. Good morning. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm pretty sure my intro gave you an idea of what we are experiencing as people, and I'm pretty sure you've also heard that a lot.
Yes, I couldn't agree with you more.
Right?
It's a topic that is far due for discussion.
But again, before we get into the conversation proper, this conversation about telcos, taking advantage of us, let me put it that way, taking advantage of our ignorance of what they could use our data for to have access to us. Is that the conversation? That's what the fact is?
Yes, I think that's, you've rightly said that. That's the conversation that consumers basically don't know what their privacy rights are. And then these big companies like the telcos just take undue advantage of it. Although we have laws that govern this, but they are not enforced. Probably due to the agencies not resourced enough to pursue these big firms and then put them in check. And then also we have low privacy literacy rate. Digitalization is a big thing, but people are not educated on what their privacy rights are in that sense. So there's a whole web of different components coming into play. And I think it's high time that we start educating the public as to what their rights are. And the good thing is that our constitution guarantees that for everyone, the right to have your privacy as well as a citizen of the country.
Now let's jump into the conversation. When out here anybody talks about data privacy, what are they talking about? What does it consist of? What is data privacy?
So in simple terms,
yes,
it's the sort of permission that you would give to an entity on how to use the data that you provide to them, how they're processing it, where they're storing, who they're exchanging this with. You need to be in the loop to understand what that data is being used for. The data is you. You are the data subject, and you're giving your details out. And so by right, these companies would have to tell you where that data is being kept, what is being used for, who they have exchanged this data with in that sense. And you knowing the journey of your data, you also have the right to tell these agencies to either delete the data or give you the right to amend it. And so that's what data privacy itself encompasses.
Okay, right. Now, these companies, how do they collect these informations about us, and how do they store them?
Okay, so
I know that's a bit technical, so I want us to get into the technical.
I'll try and break it down in lay terms.
Yeah.
I think some of the data collections are inevitable. So for the telcos, for instance, once you get a SIM card automatically you'd need to give your name, your ID details to register the SIM card, which is mandatory, right? So unknowingly, they have some of these data points on you. And then once you put the SIM card in your phone, that phone has to connect to a base station. So these telecom companies can actually tell your location. So in lay terms, I'll just go a bit technical, every phone connects to 3 base stations. These are the large MTN or Telecel poles. And those 3 base stations all are equipped with GPS antennas. So you can triangulate between them, meaning that you're connected to all 3 and it can tell your position at any given time. But that is to give you quality of service because you hop from one station to the other. But when you make a call, you send an SMS, you browse the internet, all of this goes through the telco and they keep this information. So these telcos would generate petabytes of data unknowingly. It's not because they just want it for mischievous means, but that's what drives the network. Without that, you can have the quality of service. But then they're also mandated to seek your consent. So for those who are a bit older, initially when we're selling, like you had SIM cards, you would have a paper that actually tells you the terms of use, literally gathering your consent to your information being used.
Wait a minute. So when we used to buy these SIM cards, those small leaflets in there are supposed to, as what we are.
The telco is going to use your data for. So that's more or less like a contract seeking your consent. But nobody reads that, right?
Nobody read that.
And then nobody reads that, but in that leaflet, it tells you that they have the right to exchange this data with partners. But because we do not read that, you would be sitting there and you get this unsolicited SMS and you're annoyed. But unknowingly, you've given the telco your consent. And now once you put a SIM card in the device, automatically you get SMS messages from the telco. A lot of them we do not read. Now they can point you to a website where you have to read all of these details because the Data Protection Act of Ghana mandates them to do so. But because we don't read, once you start using the SIM card, you have literally consented to it. And that's where the problem emanates from. And because these guys are giant, they know the lapses in the system and they take advantage of it.
That's right. So in protecting ourselves from these telcos and their partners, what do we do?
So the law, our Data Protection Act 2012, I think is 834, mandates you have the right to request if you feel that your data has been given to a third party or has fallen into wrong hands. You can actually write to the telcos to demand the history of your data or demand that they take you off a particular service. Now, if they don't do so, you can also escalate to the Data Protection Commission, and then they are mandated by law to enforce this data protection rights, and they would have to take it up with these companies.
Even though you're saying right now to us that these telcos do put all these calls for us to read, and we don't, so it's on us. How do we then? I mean, okay, that I didn't read because I probably felt that it was just one of those leaflets in there. How do I then tell them that, listen, I need another way? I need them to tell me these informations about who is going to be having my number to send me unsolicited messages, who is going to have access to me without me knowing and use my data for whatever reason. How do I get them to, like, give me these informations without having to put them in a leaflet or, all these cumbersome
processes that you have to go through. I think the key to this is education, right? So a lot of us are not data privacy literates in that sense. So we overlook some of these legal things that we, in other words, give consent to these companies to utilize. So the first thing would be, just as you're doing now, like that media education on data privacy and all of that. And then the Data Protection Commission, they would also have to up their game. I know they're doing some things now. They literally force entities to sign up to them, and then they ensure that these entities would meet certain privacy policies that are exposed to their customers and all. But that's not enough. For the telcos, I also feel that these are customers, and having customers, most of these relationships are built on trust. So they have to be transparent enough with the sort of data that they amass and what they use it for. And if it has to be given to a third party, you seek the consent of the individual that you're using that data from. Another thing would be us having a central database where, I know in Europe and in America, they would call it a do not use database. So you have a central database where every consumer can subscribe to and say, for some reason, I want this data of mine taken off the entire internet, or my digital footprint wiped off. And that entity has that mandate to ensure that that is done. I know recently you would have heard that the likes of Meta and the rest are being queried in Europe, being called to the European Union. These are still along the same privacy rights that we're speaking of. So they're being forced to adhere to certain laws, and if you don't, then you don't have the opportunity of operating. And I feel the Data Protection Commission should take those things. It's not only with the telcos. We use smartphones. Most of the mobile apps that you download, we do not necessarily read the privacy policies that come with it, and then we expose them to a ton of data. Some of them even take our health records. So you have an iWatch, you go for a walk, they know your heartbeat. All of these health records that are supposed to be secret, we do not know where they end up. And to a larger extent, the DPC, which is the Data Protection Commission, has no resources to track this. So the problems are sort of multifaceted, but I think once we start educating and then we put more resources or equip these institutions that are mandated by law to ensure that our data is kept safe, and if we feel that privacy has been infringed on, we have the right to tell that entity to take it off.
Two things that came to mind whilst you were doing that. I know you mentioned that there are laws that protect us and also the telcos as well. So there's that relation. There's a middleman, which are the laws that protect us, but we just need to know what they are and how we can enforce them, because enforcement is the problem now.
It's key.
So can you share with us some of the laws that are available, especially here in this country? And then the second bit is, so that I don't forget. The second bit is how you continuously say that, listen, these footprints that we leave in the systems are inevitable. Like, you're going to have to make these, whilst you're using these platforms or you're using these telcos, your footprints are going to be on the system. It's something you cannot
do away with.
You cannot do away with. But then also, that exposes all of us to this risk. Then there's the conversation of a cyber pandemic that is about to hit the world and is inevitable. Now that bit, how prepared are we as a country? I want you to touch on these two.
Okay. Wow. All right. So I'll take the first one. So our 1992 Constitution actually guarantees us the privacy, right? So I think it's Article 8, if I'm right, subsection 2 gives us the right to privacy. And then that is backed by the Data Protection Act 2012, 843. So that was just to enforce most of this tech privacy things that we're talking about now. Now, it's detailed. I think the Data Protection Act is one of the most detailed laws that would have on the African continent, right? But then the enforcement is the issue, because the agency mandated to do this has to educate. They do not have too much resources to educate. So my advice would be that the education would have to start from primary school. Kids will have to be taught about data privacy, because these kids are exposed in terms of their digital footprints as well. The sort of apps that they are exposed to, the things that they learn on the internet, how they even connect to the internet, all of this will leave their footprints. So now, if I have a SIM card in my phone, the telco that I'm using that SIM card knows every website that I visit. They might not necessarily know the content, because those contents can be hidden by maybe HTTPS, but they know where I've gotten to. So if I go to facebook.com, they know. If I go to WhatsApp, they know. And then they have something they call CDRs, which is a call detail records. They know what call you made, what time you made a call, who you called, in that sense. And so if for some reason the police has to do some investigation on you, there's a criminal act, they can go to court, get a subpoena, ask the telco to give you these details, and they will supply it. So it's not something that you're going to...
It doesn't go missing.
No. And even when the telco, you leave the telco, there are laws and policies that might allow them to keep it for more than 5 years. But then they use it for undue advantage because one, they would have to push products, so they need to market this products, and they have the advantage because they have amassed all of this data. I'm sure during the elections, a lot of people would have received some calls, were recording, you're wondering, how did they give my number to this party and all of that. So you have brokers who would pick this data, hand it over to end users for marketing. It is not legal because per the law, you need to, there are 8 core components of the law, right? You have to be accountable when you take the data. You need to show the legal processing of that data that you have collected. But most of these companies don't adhere to it because they know enforcement is not there yet.
Yes, and they know nobody's taking them up on this.
And then plus there are overlapping responsibilities between the DPC and the NCA. NCA will regulate these telcos, and they would also have to ensure that that customer privacy is adhered to. And the DPC by law is mandated to enforce this. And they are not really equipped. They're doing their best, but you're not too big as these telcos. And because they have the systems and they can do all of the analytics and all of that, the DPC is not equipped as compared to all of these telcos that we see. And for the individual, there are a lot of hurdles. If I have to write to a telco today demanding for my data that they have collected, it will take forever for them to respond. And you literally might not even have the power to battle them in court for that. Now, on to the pandemic bit. It's scary.
It is.
Technology is moving very fast. I'm sure we've heard of artificial intelligence.
Yes.
Now we have artificial general intelligence. So I could have artificial intelligence agent on my phone or my computer. They could reply my emails by themselves. They could schedule meetings for me. And most of these artificial intelligence applications are being used to generate computer codes. So what it literally means is that for people who would want to hack or have some malicious thought in terms of attacking us in terms of the digital space, it's become very easy. So I can just only program a computer and say, with all of the data you've amassed all over the world, I need you to attack this particular entity and be very persistent about it. And the human being doesn't have to code. And it will do just that. We've had instances where a lot of this is going on around the developed world. And so I feel for African countries, not only Ghana, it is time that we take it seriously. So data security, the processing of the data, where the data is being kept, all of this is extremely, extremely important. In my profession and moving around a lot of African countries, I just advise that it will be better that you have homegrown solutions because now, if someone says you're doing cloud or you get an iPhone, you literally do not even know where your data is sitting. All you hear is the cloud. But this can be servers sitting somewhere in the US or maybe in Europe, somewhere in East Asia, and you don't know who is churning out information out of that data. You have no idea. Who is doing any analytics on, what is that data being used for, who is actually being the big brother monitoring every single step you take. You have no freaking idea what that data is being used for. Unfortunately, our government is also not equipped to trap some of these things. So I'll give you a typical example. If you were in China, you hear of the Great Firewall of China. It is easy, very, very difficult for them to access sites out of the country. So it has to properly filtered. So information that is unique to China that they don't want leaked out to the international community is curtailed. Whereas us, We don't have that opportunity. Even the cables that bring internet into our country is not ours. Those are owned by other countries, other private institutions. Whatever they do with that data that goes through it, nobody knows. So it's high time we up our game. This pandemic, I think, is inevitable, but the sad thing is that for countries that are not well prepared like ours, when it hits, it's really going to hit us hard. And we need to brace ourselves for doomsday.
They're giving us timelines, right? I think I was watching a preceding the World Economic Forum, which was where this was announced, and they're giving between 2025 and 2030. So we have about 5 years to this.
I think it could be earlier. As a tech person, looking at the growth in terms of the new technologies, artificial intelligence, the speed to which these technologies are being upgraded, they are becoming cheaper to churn out by the day. I'm sure we've had conversations around OpenAI, which is ChatGPT, as against DeepSeek in China and all of that. One person having to produce artificial intelligence agents more cheaper than the other. So that drive to getting to a point where this technology can become autonomous of the human being. And unfortunately, human nature is such that we rely on machines more than ourselves now. I'm sure when people wake up, if you don't touch your phone, the first that you look at, you want to see all of the information that is going around the world. You have, so your whole life is being predicted by algorithms. Your entire life. Right from morning to evening, it is being controlled. And even now, people trust ChatGPT and the rest better than themselves. So from editors and everything, you're relying on the technology.
There's no point. Why am I stressing myself?
So we see that, and that's where the training bit comes in, right? There's a lot of fake news, there are deep fakes, there are videos that can be churned out and you can't even tell whether these are fake. And on top of that, you have the dark web. That is also another area.
What is the dark web?
So the dark web is different from the normal internet web that you surf.
Right.
And that is where you have most of the illegality that goes on the internet unchecked. So whatever you see like ChatGPT in the mainstream internet, when you go to the dark web, you would have the rogue version of it or the criminal version of it sitting there. And you hear of cyber security and all of that. I think we are not doing enough to prepare ourselves as a country, as a continent, to fight some of these pandemics when they break out.
So, oh my goodness. So once, because I do believe that there are people who are making light of this conversation, who are thinking, oh, it's impossible, just as we did with COVID. And then it met us in Ghana. Because in our minds, it's far from us. I mean, at what point, I mean, how can an individual or an entity just hack the entire world? It's not possible. There are people who actually think that this is impossible. Now, with our information, I was trying to figure out, how do I then tell this telcos that I do not want my informations out. I do not want any of these things about me to go out at all. Seek my consent before you put these things out. Even though you have given me these course to follow, or given me shown me that just by signing onto your platform, you have anything about me, you have a power over it. How do I then get you not to put those things out? Is it possible?
It's possible.
Okay.
So I'd refer back to the law. It gives us the power to write to these telcos and tell them, I don't want you to use my data for anything else other than maybe call, text, whatever I subscribed to your service for. And so you can do that. But just as I said, there are a lot of hurdles with that. You have the opportunity to write to them and say, you know what, take all of my details off your service. I don't want it there. But the point is, they would have to respond to you. And if they do not, what is the next line of action? You have to go to the government agency mandated to do so. The question then is, how is this government agency able to monitor to ensure that the telco truly has? And that's why my advice is, just as we did that mobile interoperability thing the government set in, you can create a central repository or a database where consumers can put their grievances there and say, you know what, I want this particular telco to limit all of my data to only this. And that entity ensures that it is done. But as it is now,
we don't have
you're just left with a telco. And these guys are way too powerful. I don't see one consumer having to take them on. It's going to take years of a legal battle for that to happen.
These data they share to these companies, I believe, are monetized.
Yes, most of them are monetized, and back to the law, the Data Protection Act, the telcos are being classified as data controllers, so they get the data, they can share it with partners, but they have to seek your consent before it goes to the partner.
Yeah.
So they are not just allowed to put out the data to someone and the person is marketing it. Now, prior to them giving the data out, whoever's number is on there, you need to get the consent in order to give the data out. But that is not being done.
Okay, so now we are very clear that if I want to take a telco on as Mimi, it's going to be a long journey.
Right.
So now how do I protect myself? What do I do as an individual to protect myself from these very open access to my data? What do I do?
So first, I think we'll start from the institutional standpoint, and then we come to the individual. Institution-wise, for the telcos, you're doing business. You have your customers. You need to get their trust. So you have to be transparent as possible. Seek their consent. Let them read your privacy agreements. If they have to subscribe to a certain package that you have, let that consent thing pop up. Ensure that they read, they sign on to it, and you're very transparent with them. That breeds that trust, and customers are not a bit jittery and out of the blue. You have some unsolicited call, you don't know where it's coming from. It's a recording, the person has not asked for it. Instances where they send you messages, to the fact that sometimes they even deduct some airtime for getting these messages. Then the next bit would be from the government side, enforcement. So these enforcement agencies, the Data Protection Commission, they have to be resourced, well-resourced. I don't think this is something that, as Ghana would always do in the past, this government agency is just a nice to have. Privacy and data protection is no longer a nice to have, it's a necessity. And so the government would have to pour a lot more resource into that. We're preaching digitalization, and we're saying that our economies now is based on being digitalized. And once you get into that front, your data protection is not an area for you to play with. So the government would have to up the budget of these agencies so that they can do their jobs properly. Now, to individuals, you always have to check. When you're subscribing to something, you just don't assume that, because this app is okay, I just subscribe to it. Read, get to know exactly what they're using your data for. And if you're not comfortable about it, do not sign up, because you don't know where your footprint is going to end up. So if you're not too sure about it, do not sign up. You also have channels of establishing that grievances. If you feel that some unsolicited messages come to you, the Data Protection Commission is there. You can approach them. It's their right to ensure that your data is protected. So you could fight your battle through them. But doing it alone with these agencies might not cut it. But then, the caveat is that you'll be fighting with the limitation to Ghana. Any other company that is out of Ghana becomes difficult. Because as it is now, I do not see the Parliament of Ghana calling Facebook to sit in Parliament and question them and ensure that our privacy laws are
like
met.
other countries are doing now.
Exactly. We're not gotten there yet. I think collectively as Africa, we can do that, just as the EU is doing.
Yes.
But as a country, come on, these companies are too powerful for us to pull them to the table. They rather look like they're helping us rather than us clearing them. So that would be difficult. But internally, we can depend on the DPC and the education. The education has to go down. People have to be educated that all of those things that pop up on your screen that you have to read, they are not fancy stuff. It is you giving out your life. it will be there forever. The internet never forgets.
Yes.
Your data is sitting and is being analyzed to use for things that you probably have no idea about. So I would urge everyone, let's take our time, ensure that if we are signing to anything on the internet, we read our privacy policies right. And if we are not convinced about it, please do not sign up.
You know what? This is how I actually want to end the conversation, but this just came to mind, right? So very recently, I encountered a situation. A friend of mine, you know how Ghana is hard, boys and girls are looking for money. So there's this app that keeps popping up on her phone: lend money, lend as much as 4,000 Ghana cedis and pay in 30 days. So I told her that, listen, me, I only know, we've worked with Fido, and so we know Fido. And we have even brand ambassadors, known faces, so we know that if anything, we can go to them.
Correct.
And the requirements are quite a lot. They are asking for your passport, they are asking for all of these things. So just stick to something you know. And then there's mobile money, right?
Sure.
And that we know as well. But these small ones, I don't know about them. And then she tells me that, oh, it's instant. Once you put your stuff in there, they'll give you 1,000 Guinean cedis. I said, okay, cool. 2 days. So she does the whole thing, and then the money comes into her account. And by the way, she's supposed to receive 1,000 Ghana cedis. The money that comes in there is 700 and something Ghana cedis. And she's like, okay, so I'm going to actually pay 1,500 Ghana cedis for receiving this. And now she's getting worried. And then after 2 hours, about 10 people are calling her. Okay, you just borrowed money from da-da-da-da. You're supposed to pay in the next 1 hour, or else you're going to put your details out there. And they have taken her picture, her Ghana card, her passport page, like so many things. Note also that even when she had finished paying this money, because so immediately she called me, she told me what she did, we sorted it out, and now all her details are on that platform. These companies, are we able, at least these ones are small ones that we are able to at least clamp them down. What are we able to do about these ones? Is there anything we can do?
So there's a lot that we can do. One would be that once you get this, so this would be more of a scam rather than, because they get your information and they try to hold you ransom.
Yes.
In that sense. So those entities can be reported to the Data Protection Commission and then the police. And also for companies that you know are not credible. Because anyone who has a fintech license in Ghana is required to do a KYC on all of their customers. Like, just know your customer. So that's why they ask for your Ghana card, so that they have all of your Ghana card details. They know exactly who you are. They're mandated, and then they're also governed by the central bank, the Bank of Ghana. They have their licenses. It is easy for you to report them, the issues investigated. But a lot of times as users also, we also like cheap side a lot. We want to cut corners. We don't take time to research these entities. And then they hold you to ransom. And for me, the worrying aspect is sometimes when people get your images in 2025, that face can be used for something else. Right? You have artificial intelligence tools that can be mismatched with other things, and the next picture is being used for inappropriate stuff, and you're being held to ransom on that as well. So this can transcend from just having a simple loan to something else. And you get worried, and people even commit suicide through this because it becomes too much for them to take. So the education is key. And I think for MX, you guys are doing a great job educating the public. Do not subscribe to what you don't know or something you cannot verify. Always try to ensure that whatever you are subscribing to, you can verify which entity it is. You know exactly what you're using your data for. In an event where your data is compromised, you are able to seek redress, because all of these companies are required to sign up with a Data Protection Commission. It's a requirement.
It's a requirement.
And if you fail to do so, they can fine you, or you can go to prison, or both. It is enshrined in our laws. So if you don't have somebody who has a policy that you can trace to the DPC, I would ask you not to do so.
Not to do business with them. Listen, like we always say, we are very factual. We try to learn and grow together on this platform, and that's all we've been trying to do this morning. And so please, I hope you're going to be reading now, because me, as I'm sitting here like this, I'm going to look for my SIM card book to go and see what was written there, because I don't think anybody makes time to ever read these things, but they're all very important. Mr. Anyan Mensah, thank you so much for sitting with us. We really, really appreciate this time spent with us. Tell us a little about Conak Technology, just a little something about you, how we can locate you, what you actually do here in Ghana.
Okay, thank you. It's a pleasure having me on the show as well. So, Conak Technology, we are an open technology powerhouse. What that simply means is that we provide technology tools that help businesses grow and become more profitable at a very low price point. So our ambition is always to digitalize African businesses the right way. And basically that is what we do. So putting business into the right perspective, your productivity is upped, and in other words, it translates into your bottom line, which is a lot of profit for the business as well.
All right. So if you want that business to grow, you want more profits, business run easy through technology, Conak Technology is where we recommend Conak Technology. They are on, which one is this? Is this Boundary?
Lagos Avenue.
This is Lagos Avenue. Yeah, I don't live in East Legon, don't come stress me. Lagos Avenue here in East Legon, just find them. Or we can find you online.
Yes, so just on all social media handles, Conak Technology. And then you can also visit our website, www.conaktechnology.com.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. And to you, we're learning and growing together on this platform, so please do stay with us. We're moving on to something even more amazing right here on the platform. We'll be right back after this.
Anyone can be a bet influencer. Share your codes and make money. Bet Influencer, another world first from Betway.
This advert has been approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more.
Mini old, that's all your brajo. Oh, that's so too. So, yes. Mommy, you show our unya so well. Hello. You show our uko boats. See what last stop. That's all your Sister Rose. Hold up. Sister Rose, Mr. No customer. So to the mommy. That's so smart. See what's circle. Boys, me. Nyanya walk up. You killer. Sound. Bro, I had the info from 6 p.m. Shut. Let's so too.
When we connect our energies, great things happen. Connect to a world of amazing and endless possibility with Telecel. Telecel, connecting lifestyle, connecting passions, connecting dreams.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Michael has been exceptional, surpassed all his targets. Let's hear from this year's Staff of the Year.
This wouldn't be possible without a strong relationship. You've been with me through university. All those days of studying together just to ace those tests, which we did, by the way. And those days of the side hustles, you were there. All of these have prepared me for this moment. Cowbell Coffee has been there with me every single step of the way.
For the big days and the seemingly ordinary, creamy Cowbell Coffee is with you every moment.
This advert is FDA approved.
Hi, my name is Ruki. I'm a TV host and a self-styled chef. Cooking is my ultimate passion, and it's something I would say is my calling. Now, for those who cook a lot like me, there's one fact they'll always state. Ingredients decide how tasty your food is. And for me, the game-changing ingredients is water. Tap water at the moment is not the best option considering what's going on in the country. Also, such as water can taste weird and produce too much waste, so it's a no-no for me. My number one choice for cooking is Jibu water. Cooking with Jibu water enhances the flavor of your food. And it's not just that. Unlike other brands where you have to pour it from a heavy bottle, the 20-liter dispenser bottle comes with a tap that makes things so easy. So you see how simple it is with Jibu? Cooking with Jibu gives you big flavors and great taste without all the stress. Remember to cook with Jibu.
Jibu, transforming opportunity to thrive.
Welcome to Deluxe Experience Ghana, your trusted partner in creating unforgettable events. From breathtaking stage designs to dazzling lighting solutions, we bring your vision to life with precision and creativity. Our expert event planning and consultation services ensure every detail is taken care of so you can enjoy a stress-free experience. Capture every moment with our professional photography, videography, and live streaming services because every memory deserves to be cherished. Transform your event venues into a masterpiece with our exquisite interior lighting and permanent designs tailored to suit your style and theme. At Deluxe Experience Ghana, we don't just plan events, we create experiences. Let's make your next ordinary. Deluxe Experience Ghana. Think events, think deluxe. Contact us today on 0267 83 7006 or 0545 03 8620 and 0545 03 7520. Deluxe Experience Ghana. Think events, think deluxe.
Says, "Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for He is good, and for His mercies endure forever." The song says, "Udimi will come me home. I bring you now, I bring you now." So when I look over my life and everything You've done for me, Lord, You've done for me. For me, you are good, and your mercy is forever. You are good, and your mercy is forever. You are good, and your mercy is forever. Your mercy is forever. Your mercy is forever, forever and ever. Forever and ever, yes, Lord. Oh, forever and ever, yes, Lord. Oh, it is forever, yeah. Oh, Lord, you be my Savior, Redeemer, Protector, my Lover. That's who you are. That's who you've been to me. Send me kai kai, all the things you've done for me. Ebro my see us so. I wake I go my day now. It just me kai. Every little thing you've done for me. Every my journey to I see us so. I just came to say thank you, Lord. You are good, and your mercy is forever. Lord, you are good, and your mercy is forever. Yeah, you are good, and your mercy is forever. Your mercy is forever. Your mercy is forever. It's forever and ever. Yes. Your mercy is forever, yes, Lord. When I think of your goodness, when I think of your kindness, yeah. Set me straight. My tummy, amor. Set me straight. Mekutu namasori semisha adiawaya mamea. Every little thing you've done, makuma tummy emo semisha adiawaya mamea. Mekutu namasori.
Oh my goodness. We could actually do this all morning. Just when I was climbing into the throne room of God. Yes, you're welcome back to the AM Club. This is the plug segment of the AM Club. And of course, we're plugging in something amazing. Daniel Foli.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
That was powerful.
Thanks.
I saw you close your eyes and get into it, which means that you're super passionate about this thing. This is very beautiful. You did a rendition of the very last song, but the first one is an original.
Yeah, it's my own song.
What's that one called?
Forever.
Forever.
Yes, please.
Which one is Running and...
Yeah, so Running is the latest release.
Okay.
Yeah, I released that I think a couple of months ago.
Okay.
And before that, I released Come to Me.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Come to Me, one of the songs that speaks to me.
Awesome.
That and Running. Yes.
That and Running.
Yes.
And then
yes.
Gyre?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So you're going to be doing Running for us before you leave. I mean, that's what we're going to wrap the entire show with. At least you're going to do one of your favorites to us.
Yeah.
Or Coming. Which one would you do for us?
I'll do. Okay, I have another one too that I would love to.
Okay.
Yeah. That's Nobody.
Nobody.
Yeah, I want to speak to someone this morning, so.
But I see your songs. They are very inspirational. They're very motivating.
Yeah.
What inspires the kind of songs or the kind of music that you write? Do you write your music yourself though? Let me know.
Yeah, I write my own songs.
So what inspires that?
So usually I like to express my experience with God, my work with God. I like to. That's basically my music. Expressing my work with God, my experiences with Him, things that God has, God said to me personally, things that places where I was or I were, and God just showed up and said specific things to me. And like forever, I was pondering over how good God has been to me, like the goodness of God over my life. I think that was during the Corona period, and so I was just looking back. I'm like, I could have been one of the victims of Corona, but here I am.
Oh
this is the goodness of the Lord, and my birthday was approaching. So pondering over all that, I had this melody in my spirit, and then I just was inspired to put down some lyrics to express.
I love that you bring that up, because I want to know how you came to know God.
Okay, wow.
Yes, I know, right?
Yeah,
It's very
yeah,
random, but I want to know how you came to know that, because again, there's always that moment where you be like, this is it. I'm done with everything else, but I'm going to be focusing on. What was your experience like? What happened?
Okay, so I was born literally into a family of believers, like a Christian family. But you know, if you are a boy with them born you for the hood inside,
you are more hood than you are Christian.
I mean, definitely. So the environment shaped me into something else. Yeah, it took my mom's prayer and a few others to get me to know God. It just happened like that. A friend invited me for a meeting, a prayer meeting, like my best friend. He went to school and came back another person altogether. So he invited me, oh, come for a meeting. We are meeting at the park. Come and join us. We just want to have a short meeting. So I went thinking, oh, it was just going to be one of those things. I went and it was a prayer meeting, and I mean, something just lit up in me, and that was it. I started getting deeper and deeper.
Which year would this be?
Around 2010.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And how's the experience been so far?
It's been great. I mean, I've seen God blow my mind. Let me put it that way. He's shown me so many things, blown my mind. Awesome. So, I mean, I'm just grateful.
Let's get back into your musical journey. So by this time that you didn't know God and you were just living, did you know you could sing?
I was just singing for fun. I mean, fooling around and all that. But my focus was on art, because I could draw very well. I knew how to sketch. I mean, so my mind was that, oh, okay, I'll go into designing, art and everything. And then when I became born again, I noticed, I mean, I literally grew up in a Christian home, so they played more gospel and all. Yeah, but then still I was listening to the other songs, you know. So when I became born again, I listened more to Christian songs, sang along, and then my sisters were like, oh, you need to join the choir, because you can't sing. And I could naturally just harmonize. Yeah, so everyone started pushing me, and then I joined the choir and I realized, oh, okay, this is actually what I was supposed to do.
You're supposed to do.
Yeah, so.
And from choir to global artist now. Wonderful. I've seen you on projects with some of the big names, because you are one of them.
Amen. Blessings.
But who inspires you in this music journey?
Okay, so I would say Dave the Music Box.
No way, Dave the Music Box.
Dave is like my mentor and one of the people that I don't know, God worked through him to kind of drag me along to a certain space or a certain place. Yeah, because when I released Forever, I released Forever in, I think, 2020 or 2021, thereabout. And Dave heard the song. We were just following each other. He heard the song, and I mean, he was blown away.
Wow.
So he quickly tagged the late Coda, God rest his soul. He tagged Joe Metal. He tagged all the big
names.
Guys. And it was like, you guys have to check this guy out. And I was like, whoa, I ran from my room. I went to show it to myself. I was like, see, Dave has actually posted my song. And it was a big thing for me. And ever since we linked up, and he's been putting me on projects, linking me to stuff. And I'm so grateful.
Wonderful.
I'm so grateful.
Oh, I love that. What's your connection with Bethel Christian Choir?
Yes, so that was another thing Dave did for me. It blew me out. That was the biggest thing I did, or the biggest project I was involved in last year. And I mean, Dave sent me a beat. I'm a producer, so yeah. So
it makes sense with the whole.
So he sent me an instrumental. He told me, oh, I need you to do something with a popular Ewe song, but just switch it up a bit. Let's do it Afrobeat. I was like, okay, that would be fun. So it took about 2 weeks. I was still searching my spirit because I like to allow the lyrics to come naturally. So there was one time he texted me, and then, in fact, I was buying cocoa.
Hey.
So when I grab the cocoa and I go home, then the lyrics just, everything just came. I wrote it down. That evening I recorded, I sent it to Dave. I was like, whoa, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Before I knew it, I sent it to Uncle Henry, the man behind Bethel Revival. And the man listened, he was blown away. The next thing I know, they are putting that song on the project.
Wow.
And
that's how it happened.
That's how it happened.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, whoa, I can't believe I'm working with Bethel.
Yes, yes, because that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Oh my God. But as a musician, as a young musician in Ghana doing gospel, what are some of the challenges you've had to face, even though God has blessed you with an incredible brother? Dave the music boy is like my brother. He is like my brother.
Yeah, Dave.
And incredible soul. With all these amazing things that have happened to you, what are some of the challenges you've had to deal with?
Well, one of the challenges I've had to deal with would have to be sponsorship. You know, somebody to push you.
Yeah.
It's been God. I don't know how God did it, but because I always say that if some of us had like someone pushing, like
you'd go far.
Aside, and I thank God for Dave, because if Dave had not even come in the picture, who knows, God might raise someone, but it was like he came at the perfect time, you know, because that time I was struggling. I wasn't, there was no motivation, there was no push. I was, motivating myself because I had to produce myself and all that, but the push wasn't there. It was one of the reasons why I had to learn music production myself, because you won't get money to go and pay for studio sessions. And I realized, oh, this is something I want to do. Yeah, so one of the major issues would have to be sponsorship, like help, assistance, somebody to push you. Even now, we are still trusting and believing God that, I mean, we'll get a bigger someone up there.
Amen. Amen. Do you belong to a record label yet?
No.
No.
Yes.
So that's something you're also looking forward to?
Yes, definitely.
These streaming platforms that have, do you have your songs on these streaming platforms?
Yes,
and do they pay royalties as much as you would have wanted them to?
Yeah, but for now, I'm not putting my mind on the royalties per se. I even don't want to touch them, because something happened a couple of years ago, so it kind of made me halt the whole music thing a bit. I went so much into production, and then so it took people like Dave to kind of keep pushing me. Daniel, you have to work, you have to produce, you have to put more songs. So once a while, I try to put something out there, and I wasn't even concerned about the streaming platforms and all, but I had to put it there.
Yeah.
And because of the nature of my work too, I'm that type. I can get so buried in a song, like people's projects,
producing
and
someone else's song
mine,
and forget yours. Something David knows how to do well. But yes, now let's come back to your newest project out.
Okay.
You finally focus on you now, and you brought something out.
Yeah.
And that is a very new one, and you call that one
Running.
Running.
Yes.
Tell us tell us about Running and where we can find Running to listen, stream, or.
Okay, so Running and all other singles I've released, they are all on all streaming platforms, from Spotify to Apple Music, Deezer, everywhere. And just search the name Daniel Foli. The Foli is F-O-L-I.
Yes.
And then you get access to all the songs. So Running was actually inspired from a time where I was feeling very down. I was questioning the whole Christian walk, because Charlie, we walk, but we know they see anything, you know. So I was like, hey, what is happening? You know. Then I had this conviction in me. I think it was the Holy Spirit talking to me about the fact that you need to keep holding on, because Paul said that one thing I do is forgetting those things that are behind me. I press towards the mark of the high calling in Christ Jesus. So, and that was my scripture for this song. Yeah, I was reading, I was studying, and then I got to that verse,
and the Holy Spirit started talking to me. No matter what happens, don't stop running to me.
Right.
Keep running.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So now we have Running Out. We're
Yes.
going to find Running on all streaming platforms.
Yes, please.
And it's Daniel Foli on all social media platforms.
Yes, Daniel
Well,
Foli.
thank you so much for joining me today
It's
on
an
The
honor.
Plug.
It's
It's
an honor.
been an
Great
amazing conversation. And we wish you all the very best. And
Thank you
we're
so
going
much.
to receive you back here with a nomination, with an album, with all the big stuff.
Amen.
Okay, so
Amen.
thank you
It's
so
gonna
much for
happen.
sharing your wonderful self with us.
You're welcome. Thank
and to
you
you
too.
out there, thank you so much for being a part of the show. My name is Miriam Uduak-Mensah. This has been the AM Club. MX24. Join us every single day of the week from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Of course, connect with us on all social media platforms. It's MX24GH on all social media platforms. I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of Daniel Foli. Let him take us away. Daniel, over to you.
All right. Says, every step I take, every move I